60 horsepower 4-stroke EFI Mercury. We're doing a yearly service on this. We're going to change the impeller and all the oils. I think the water's actually reducing out of the impeller, so it's a good idea to change it now. And we're going to kick it off and have a bit of a look now. Water's still quite strong, the pressure there, but I noticed it has reduced a little bit, I'm pretty sure. But we'll turn it off and we'll have a look at the new one after we've replaced it and change the oils. So to take off the leg and change the impeller, we're actually going to take the prop. So we'll remove the prop first. So always make sure you carefully bend these tabs down. Okay, that stops the lock nut from moving at all. I've got an 8-inch pitch prop on this because of the size of the vessel, and using that to push. But there's 4 bolts that we take off. This to drop the lower leg, this, and 2 on the other side here, here and here. And we also need to remove this one here, so I'll be taking off, most likely need to take off this trim tab here that I have on prior to doing it.
That's pretty, not dry, but
so I took the trim tab out here, that was up in here, and discovered that there's another bolt that actually you can see there, that needs to come out. That's hidden underneath that trim tab. So we're just taking out the impeller. We've loosened everything off. All these bolts, they've all come out, and this is your gear spindle shaft. Don't move that. So we're going to clean up around it. We're going to actually replace this plate as well and the complete impeller. So we've undone all these now, and that's come off, obviously. We'll get that. And this here, there's a keyway in here into the shaft, so don't lose it. You'll need that again unless you've got a replacement. Okay, so we'll take that off as well. I'm going to keep that as a spare, it's in fairly good nick, but you can see the impeller here is quite bent up. But how you can tell if the impeller's stuffed, which this one is it remains in a bend. It'll still work, and it still does, but it needs to be flexible enough to actually push the water through. So this is constantly in that shape. It's not going to work as well as a new one. It'll still work, so keep it as a spare if you don't already have a new one as a spare. So that's the key. Alright, that actually fits in. It's really easy to drop out. It fits into that slot. Don't drop it down the guts of your shaft. Fits in there. I'll put a bit of marine grease on that when I put it back, but I'm replacing this plate right now, so I'll take that out and we'll take this plate off. So this is the water pump impeller replacement kit. It comes with a fair few bits and pieces. I'll just show you that. Take it out. You've got the impeller. All the washers, and even that black backing plate that I was showing you. It's a new piece, so we're going to put that straight on and keep the other as a spare, which it's still good, but I'd rather just complete the whole thing in a new with new parts. I'm going to use the Mercury Grease 24C. It's the proper grease for lubing different parts, shafts, etc. And we're going to just put a little bit of grease around the bolt heads, but I'm going to actually grease up this here if it's actually in here. I'm going to grease up around the bottom of that, the base of that. And there's a couple of water traps here, here, and the other side. Obviously they are locators of some sort, but I'm going to put a bit of grease in there because if the salt sits in there for a prolonged period, it'll actually corrode the hell out of these areas. So you want to make sure you clean them up, and these had a lot of dirt in them that I took out. And once I put this grease in, at least it'll stop it from sitting in there and being having solid contact. Just going to add a little bit there on the other side and in here as well. Okay, so I'm about to put the impeller in. You've got to turn it anti-clockwise here because it'll be the right way when it actually goes back up on the motor, which is like so. So I'm just going to hold it here and I'll wait. Okay, so putting the impeller in now. I'm going to twist it, put it in and move it anti-clockwise.
And you put it in the grease already? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, there's a little bit of grease in there. Oh, that one's moved back the wrong way, damn it. Okay, so I've added a bit of grease in here just to lubricate it while I whack this on. And there's the keyway there, so I'm going to line that up with the key on the shaft and we'll go from... Okay, so I initially had some trouble here with locating the drive here into the power unit, so I used a screwdriver while my son held the motor leg up, and I pushed this back until it lined up obviously and it dropped straight in. So we're just getting them up a little bit, nipping them up a little bit, and then we'll put everything back together. Okay, new impellers in, everything's right to go. Yep, kick it over. About a little bit. Okay.